just washed my hair so it looks a bit still damp, but I wanted to get this out there because I want a day of a break today. I've got a sty in my eye, so I know I've been a bit run down. So I went to bed last night, and I'm always watching things when I'm in bed. Now, some people, even if you're following Q, you might not have watched this, but I just thought I'll go and watch it, and I'll go and see what was said at the Whitehouse speech yesterday. But what I'd also like to say first is all this stuff with Vincent Fusca, and the video with who's supposed to be Vincent Fusca with the van, the Trumpmobile, that may or may not be JFK Jr. It may be him in disguise, trying to look like this guy. It may be him. It may be a guy called Vincent Fusca. The only thing I find very strange about the name Vincent Fusca, as we all know, the name means conquering dark. And if you follow Q, it's dark to light. So that's only one thing. But we're not, that video, that doesn't really bother me about who that guy is. It's the van that's being pointed out. Because we all know, if you've seen my videos before, hiya, my hair's still wet. If you all know from my videos before, because people are putting questions in and oh, did you see this? And all my videos before have explained all that I've found if you haven't checked them out. Now, it's pointing to the Trumpmobile. Forget about him, that is pointing to the Trumpmobile. We all know what's on that Trumpmobile if you've seen my videos before, the license plate, the numbers, the certain stars, how many count up on different areas, different colours, and stuff like that. Hi, oh, hello. But what also was said in the little report, if you remember what I said the other day about Vincent Fusca, just a little report about where he'd parked his van on the 18th Avenue. I think it was, he'd driven it from his home in Churchill, from the 18th Avenue, you know, go back to some of my videos, and it says 18th about 3 times, which we know is R, the letter R next to Q. And he also said, listen to this, the 18th Street and Pennsylvania Avenue, right? He also said he was in his blue suit and his fedora hat. Now, if you go back to the video of the rally in Youngstown, I believe, Ohio, in 2017, on the, I think it was, I can't remember what date it was, but the guy who is holding, you know, the pictures up with the van on it, the van on it, the Trumpmobile, he's wearing a blue suit and a fedora hat. So that's a clue that that guy there, I believe, a lot of us believe, is JFK Jr. He's saying he was wearing his fedora hat. Now, we know in the other video of the who's meant to be Vincent, because they're supposed to both be Vincent, or one looks like, well, maybe it's just because he looks like him, if you get my drift. But the one in the video showing the Trump van with the clues on it, the Trumpmobile, he's wearing a baseball cap, not a fedora, but he's signalling in that, because we've got 18 a couple of times, which is R, because the 18th letter in the alphabet is R. He said Pennsylvania, and I'm going to get to that in a minute. And he also said he was wearing a blue suit with a fedora hat. And we know the other pictures of this guy who sells Trump merchandise at rallies and things wears a blue suit with a fedora hat, and he had a little tissue in his pocket with 5 stars up. You know, the American flag, but the 5 stars up, the way he'd folded it. Also, one of the pictures shown, because if you go to Google and type in Vincent Fusca, you will see some of the pictures that you can just scroll along, and you will find one of them with the Trumpmobile, one of them with the sign where he's outside in the car park, I don't know when it was, and he's saying, and it's him again, and it says something like, good luck, Trump, the movement will go on, hint, hint, the movement will go on, Pennsylvania. We know we already worked out Pennsylvania in numerology to be in the number 8, which means resurrection in the Bible. We already know about the number plate. If you don't know what I'm talking about with the number plate, you need to go and look at some of my other videos, because I've done all of the stuff on that. So think Pennsylvania. So last night, I get in bed. I think, oh, I'll just watch the Trump speech at the White House yesterday, and I'll just listen to it and see if I can hear anything. And oh boy, did I hear a lot. First of all, we've had all the make farmers great again. That's brilliant. You know, tired of winning. Hint, hint. Who? We've been saying that a lot. Tired of winning. All of us that follow Q. He said tired of winning. He's going on about jobs being higher than ever for blacks, Hispanics, and Asians, which is brilliant. He said too much for too long. Too much for too long, because too much has been going on for too long, the bad things. Past the biggest tax cut, but wait for it because there's something big coming that I noticed. He was just going on about, you know, Obamacare, or I should say Obamacare, and he's bringing back, you know, better healthcare is coming, guys, because that's what you need over there, and healthcare policies. There's been lots of bonuses and pay rises, blah, blah, blah. But what I noticed in this video is the flags in the background, the American flag in the background, they're always, you know, they're just draping down, if you get what I mean. And they just come down like this. Hi. The guy who is meant to be Vincent Fusca with the fedora hat on, there's a picture of him stood next to a wall if you go and do some researching. And his little tissue, I don't know what you call it, your handkerchief in your pocket is sort of the shape like the flags hang, but he's got the 5 stars up. So I sort of noticed that. But the biggest, oh, and they also mentioned Google and Apple, but the biggest thing in that whole video that points to the guy that's meant to be Vincent Fusca or JFK Jr., the one in the fedora at the rally in Ohio, get this. You watch that video all the way through. He says Pennsylvania at the beginning. Trump says Pennsylvania. I thought, oh, he said Pennsylvania because the guy with the fedora on was holding the card saying Pennsylvania. He also said it in the middle of the video. He said Pennsylvania, Pennsylvania. I don't know how many times Trump said it. He said Pennsylvania. Near the end, he said something on the lines of, we're bringing back steel. Pennsylvania's doing great things. Pennsylvania, Pennsylvania. You know what's going on in Pennsylvania? We know what's been going on in Pennsylvania. We know who's been in Pennsylvania. To me, that is Trump validating Pennsylvania. Why? What is going on in Pennsylvania? That guy was in Pennsylvania who lost his car, the Trumpmobile. We know about what that signals on the Trumpmobile, all the little clues in it. He has mentioned in the little report about him being disorientated, which I said the other day. The JFK Jr. crash report on it said he must have been disorientated. That word was used anyway. It was also used in the Vincent Fusca little report that they did on saying how he lost his Trumpmobile, and it was on the 18th Avenue, on the 18th Street. He went on the 18th corner. He went down the 18th Street in Pennsylvania. And he's the one who's holding the card up. Like I said, good luck, Trump. The movement, we have the movement of Q. The movement will go on, which I believe the next movement is R. The movement will go on. Pennsylvania. He has shouted Pennsylvania out I don't know how many times. You go and watch that video and you'll be like, he said it. He said it how many times? Why did he have to shout out Pennsylvania that many times? He also said as well, because I don't really know America, you know what I mean? He said Pennsylvania, and then he said something about, because we went to Ohio or something. He said something about Ohio. That rally in 2017, with Caroline and JFK Jr., who we believe to be in the background, because it was Truth Behind You. It was in Ohio, in Youngstown. Boom. That's what I saw. So if you want to watch the Whitehouse, my hair's just drying, it's a bit frizzy. I've just washed it. If you want to go and watch that video of the Whitehouse yesterday, where he's talking about stealth, and he said stealth is really fast, and you know, you can't really see it, and all these good things that were in there. There was amazing things that were in that speech. But he shouted out, I don't know how, it could have been 18 times he shouted out Pennsylvania. I don't know, I'm just saying, I didn't count them. But I got a bit like giddy because I thought, he said it loads of times. He mentioned it loads of times. That is the key. Pennsylvania is the key to what's coming. So, yeah, exactly. Washington, DC, Pennsylvania. You lot who know who's been digging on the Vincent Fusca thing, even if, you know, people are saying, oh, I know him and this, that and the other. It doesn't matter. That guy with the van, because that little video was done, which is a bit suspicious, could have been trying to look like that guy. It doesn't really matter, even though, like I said, his name does mean conquering dark. We're focusing on what messages were on that van, and the biggest thing on that van was the number plate. And the guy with the fedora, who looks like Vincent, who people are saying are Vincent, in the rally in 2017, is wearing a fedora and a blue suit, which said it in the little report. So keep digging, guys. Go and watch some of my other videos, because people are going on about the number plate. I already talked about the number plate. I've done about 6 or 7 or 8. I don't know how many. Thank you. How many reports I'm doing on the Vincent Fusca JFK thing, you know, whatever. I've done all my digging on that and worked out what I've worked out. But last night I just got in bed and watched Trump talking, and I just thought, wow, he's sticking out Pennsylvania's there. You need to go and research and look at these pictures, the rally, and the pictures on Google where this guy is stood with the the board with Pennsylvania written out, and the movement, will go on. We know what movement that is. So it's just a little video. That's why I've just got out of the shower and thought I just wanted to come and tell you what I have noticed in Trump's speech as well. Validating, guys, go and look in Pennsylvania. What's been happening in Pennsylvania? Who's been in Pennsylvania? And also, I've just seen on, who was it now? I've just seen on, I wrote this down now, don't know where I've put it. On, let's see if I can find it or not. Joe Maspose, the guy who did Q the Plan to Save the World video. You can now find it on. I'm just finding out. Oh, it's amazing, the Q, everything about Q, especially if you're American. Well, what did I write down? Just let me see if I can find what I wrote down. Because the best thing to go and watch to understand anything about Q is Q, the Plan to Save the World. It's out there on YouTube. The first one that went out was by a guy called, or a channel called Joe Maspose. And that name adds up to 38, which was the age that JFK Jr. supposedly died. That's gone now, but you can still find it. But it's under now. The one I watched it on is A Storm is Upon Us, I think, and he's on Twitter. And they've just put a Twitter out about, what Sarah Sanders was saying the other day about things that they want to get done are actually, they've been done. And the people who have been, I can't get the name. Where did I write it down? I might have wrote it down. Let me just check. Got that many notes lying about. Yeah, this is what it says. It says, everything, it was a tweet, everything Sarah Sanders has been saying on one of the, live, speeches she's put out, said, everything, on this tweet it says, everything she says they are going to do has already been done. The criminals who orchestrate the attempt to frame and impeach Trump have been frozen out and now simply await their march through the legal system. We know it's all happening, so that's great as well. Things are starting to happen. Me and my dad believe something's going to happen this Friday, Thursday, Friday maybe, definitely by the end of this month, because Q said this month was the month for truth, basically. So a lot of things are going to drop. But the JFK Jr. thing, you need to research, you need to see these little, because I know the numberology now and the way they sort of do things. I saw that in Trump's speech, and it was just shouting out basically Pennsylvania. So if you want to check my other videos about all the Vincent things, please do, because I've put in there, oh thank you, it's Mother Nature. I've done a lot on it, because people have said, oh, did you see this, did you see that? Yeah, I've seen it, because I've done a lot on it. I'm researching. I'm having a day off today. Because I'm so tired. I've got a sty in my eye from looking at the channel and researching too much. But it's amazing. The more you start learning about how the evil ones used to, as we want to say, used to put things out in numerology and certain way they spell things and this, that and the other. we can use it too, and Q's been using it, Trump's been using it, and JFK Jr.'s been using it. So great times. I still believe it is JFK Jr. You know, maybe some people don't, but at the end of the day, all I've been doing is, it's coffee time, a coffee fee. All I've been doing is going online like anybody else, looking at certain videos, looking at some videos of JFK Jr. a while back. Yeah, well, from the evidence that we're collecting and what we are seeing, yeah, you think it's JJ. Exactly. There's just too many coincidences. We got told of Q, nothing is a coincidence, nothing is random. Okay. This is why I can't come on long, because my little one's up. You know, and even the meaning, Vincent Fusca, in the meaning of it, and you can go and Google this, means conquering dark. We've been told we're going to the dark to light phase, so there's no, ooh, I love a coffee. There's no, everything is adding up more and more day by day. Even in the past Q post, we've said this. I don't believe that much could add up to this person. And you've got to remember, people saying, is he safe? Of course he's safe, because this was all set up. Set the stage, right? This was all set up last year, or maybe in 2016, because the van, the one with Vincent Fusca with the fan, was 2016. Maybe that is a guy called Vincent Fusca, but we're not looking at that. We're looking at the van with the clues on. Maybe he was given that van because he's a Trump supporter. He might not know. He might be in it. I don't know. But the actual rally, the actual rally video in 2017, I think it was the 7th of July, 2017, 17 being Q, the year of Q. That rally, when he stops walking and he stands there to speak, the people behind him definitely look like Caroline, his wife, and definitely look like John. And they believe someone saying her sister might be there, which I've seen pictures of that, and that looks pretty like her as well. You've got to remember they're a little bit older. She's got a baseball cap on covering her eyes. She had piercing blue, beautiful eyes, but her nose and her mouth is a dead giveaway. The only thing about John is he's got longer hair in it, so you can't see his ears, but he's got stubble, and it looks like he's got, you know, makeup on or something a bit darker. But that video is, to me, is the key. It was in Ohio, and that's what Trump mentioned in the White House. He said Ohio, and then we've got the Pennsylvania thing where he's been holding cards up in Pennsylvania on other pictures, and it says the movement will go on. We are in the R movement. I believe, if I'm wrong when this all comes out, if I'm wrong and this never happens, because we don't know when it's going to drop, I think we've got to get it in our head, because if this does come out and he is alive, whenever he appears, your brain's not going to explode, because you're going to be thinking, I've heard this. We're getting prepared for it, prepare for the next phase. But yeah, the world is not what you've been told. It's a complete and utter lie. Q plus, do you remember when it was Q plus? If you're adding something on to Q, the next letter along is R. Yeah, we're getting ready to have a whole new reality, and the reality is truth, even if some of the truth is heartbreaking, like I've said before. And a lot of people that you believe to be good, like a lot of actors and singers and people like that, have all been in on this for years. Some have been brought into it, some have been blackmailed, but there are a lot, you know, it has been the world of Lucifer, believe it or not. The world's been topsy-turvy. We are about to flip it. We are about to bring, if you want to say, heaven on earth. We just want truth. When we have the truth and knowledge is power, then we can move on and start a new world, a new phase, a new reality for our children and our children's and our children's children, because that's what it's about. It's been going on for time dot. No, I'm not. Everyone keeps asking me that. But this is what I believe. I am quite spiritual, and these things have been resonating. Like when I've been reading things about JFK Jr., watching videos and seeing things now, I'm like, oh, it's so time. I've always wondered why we don't just come here to work and die. There's more to it. I said yesterday, we've been held back from the truth. If you're held back from the truth, then we don't know our real purpose. But these elites, as if you want to call them, these evil ones, these entities, whatever you want to call them, these people, they've known the truth, so they've had the power over us. They've kept us enslaved. They've kept us enslaved for a very long time. We've been living in a matrix, guys. That's what we've been living in, because we use these two eyes to see, but we're not seeing properly. I believe that's why they always go on about your third eye. Once this eye's open, and you're actually thinking for yourselves and not sat in front of the telly watching MSN, because we know they lie. Yeah, there's wickedness. You can see it for what it really is. You see the signs in numerology and all sorts of different things. You know, if there's anyone here that's trolling, keep trolling, guys, because the truth's about to come out, and then it's going to be like, where do you stand with it? Because all the evil ones are getting caught, and you will be left behind, and you won't be able to walk down the street. This is what's been told. Maybe you don't believe it, but I'm just saying this is what I've seen. You can go and research yourself. It is amazing, and like I said, yeah, Neon Revolt. Want to go and read that? Yeah, Renegade. I've not got all through it, but I know about that anyway. That isn't new to me. I know how Hollywood works. Holly hell. MJ was mentioning that Michael Jackson. I knew he was a good guy. Beautiful guy. Been listening to some of his older songs, especially I can't remember what the song was now. What was it? I can't remember. But yeah, they did, or maybe, I don't know, but I guess we'll see. But you know, if this comes out to be the truth and he appears at some point, thank you. Yeah, British. You know, I believe Trump's doing a military parade in November. Whose birthday was in November? John's birthday's in November, and he would be 58. So you never know, someone might appear. I do still think he's alive, because if you haven't seen if you're new to Q and you don't know all this thing we've been trying to put together, the rally in 2017 in Ohio, Youngstown? You look in the background, because you don't know about Q, you don't know what we've been talking about. You look in the background when he stands still. There's a woman with a baseball cap on and a guy with a hat on, and he's holding a sign saying, "Women for Trump," and underneath it says Ruby Q. Ruby was the name of the cat, and Ruby was also a name of a guy called Jack Ruby, who shot someone called Oswald, who was something to do with his dad's assassination. Just a bit of a, I've said this in all my other videos, so you need to go and look at my videos, starting from Vincent Fusca from the beginning when I started on it, and then watch them all, and then it'll make sense. And I show you all the pictures that I've seen online. So it's just about researching people and going, seeing what you think. Because if you know about Q, it's the biggest plan ever. It's going to be the greatest story ever told. So what greatest story to tell? And what an amazing, amazing plan. And it's had to be so long that he's had to not reveal himself, because he's had to put the plan together, because you won't believe how deep it goes and what they've been going after. But if you're on here and you haven't seen, thank you. If you're on here, my hair's wet, so it's drying. Okay, if you're on here and you don't know about Q, even if you don't believe in Q, please go and watch Q, The Plan to Save the World. It's a 10-minute video documentary of why the world is the way it is and who's involved with it and what's happened. Also, at the beginning of that film, there's a scene of the crime where they put the little numbers out, and the numbers, if you add them up, when you see the numbers on the floor, they add up to 18, which is R. Yeah, it is. All this is basically for the children. Michael Jackson used to always, I can't remember what I was reading out last night about Michael Jackson and the, let me just see if I can find it. Right, Michael Jackson, I can't remember what song it was off now, but I think it was, I can't remember, but this was at the beginning of the video. I should know because I loved Michael Jackson. But think about the generations, and to say we want to make it a better world for our children and our children's children, so that they know it's a better world for them, and think if they can make it a better place. Yeah, so he sang some lovely songs, and that just makes sense to me. So I hope that song comes out at the parade. But I think you're going to see things at the parade like new technology, stealth, everything. I have to go in a minute because my son's getting a bit. If you want to If you want to know a lot more, go on Neon Revolt, the big reads people, and you're going to read things you don't like. You can go on Qanon.pug. It's got all the Q drops, and he stopped dropping now, but the last Q drop has got a lot to say. I will just say this before I go. The last Q drop, for people who don't know, at the end of it, it was only a short one. It said, think mirror. I've said this a million times, so you need to go and watch my other videos. Look there or look here in kill box. Or there, truth is behind you. Now that was the last Q drop. The last JFK Jr., go and check it out. His last public interview, it's out there with a lady called Katie who's interviewing him. She says, a show called Look Here, we're going to look there, and he looks behind him, truth is behind you. And it's mirrored because she says it the other way around. Then at the Valley in Ohio, Youngstown, when Trump stands there, he turns round, but also he stood there, what's behind him? The truth is behind him. It's Caroline and John. So I just wanted to say that. I wanted to say go and check the Whitehouse video out from yesterday, and you will see him say Pennsylvania. But if you go and watch my videos right from the beginning there's about 7 of them, there's quite a few on JJ and Fuska. Go back to when I first started it, watch them all, and you'll see the things. I've tried to put the pictures up, but also I also did a video with Gran Torino, who is on We the People Soapbox, and he's in Ireland. Bring it here, doing the Q stuff. So if you go over to Gran Torino, and you've got to scroll down on YouTube till you see a guy with a beard, and that's Gran Torino. I did a video with him the other day at the end of it, explaining it simply about Vincent Fusco. And it's just very interesting. If anything, it's just very interesting. Hi, I just want to see what you all think. You've got to research. Q told us to research. I don't care about trolls and all that. They can get red pilled on the way, because at the end of the day, it's what I believe. It's my channel. It's just what I believe. I'm researching. Everyone needs to research and see what you think. So I'll see you soon. I'm having a resting day today. I'll see you soon. Bye.